Congratulations. You have made it to one of the most important lessons in this entire course. Not because you're about to learn something new, but because you're about to do something most people never do. You're going to create a written investment plan. Think about everything you've learned so far. You learned how to evaluate risk. You discovered your risk tolerance. You learned the difference between stocks and bonds. You learned about diversification, asset allocation, index funds, ETFs, fees, taxes, rebalancing, and the power of compound growth. Those lessons were important, but information alone doesn't build wealth. Action does. And that's what today's lesson is all about, turning knowledge into action. Open your workbook to the section titled My First Portfolio Plan. We're going to build your plan together, one decision at a time. Let's start with your risk tolerance score. Go back to the results from your risk tolerance assessment. Write your score in the first box. This score isn't a prediction of future returns, it's a guide, a reminder of how much risk you're comfortable taking when markets inevitably become volatile. Next, let's determine your target asset allocation. What percentage of your portfolio will be invested in stocks? What percentage will be invested in bonds? Will you include any alternative investments? Remember, this allocation should reflect your goals, your timeline, and your ability to tolerate market fluctuations. There isn't one perfect answer. There is only the answer that best fits you. Now let's move to investment selection. Will you primarily use index funds, actively managed funds, or a combination of both? Will you use mutual funds, ETFs, or a mix of the two? Think back to the lessons you've completed. Which approach feels most consistent with your investing philosophy? Write it down. Next, identify where your investments will live. Will you invest through a 401k, a Roth IRA, a traditional IRA, a taxable brokerage account, or some combination of these accounts? Remember what we discussed in the last lesson. The account matters, taxes matter. The location of your investments can influence your long-term results just as much as the investments themselves. Now let's make this real. What specific funds will you purchase? Don't overcomplicate this step. You don't need 20 investments. You don't need 50 investments. Many successful investors build excellent portfolios using just a handful of broadly diversified funds. Simplicity is often a strength, not a weakness. Next comes one of the most important questions in the entire workbook. How much will you invest each month? Write down the amount, then write down the date. And here's the key. Set it up automatically. Don't rely on memory. Don't rely on motivation. Create a system, because systems outperform intentions, always. Now let's complete the final piece. Rebalancing. Choose one day each year when you'll review your portfolio. Maybe it's your birthday, maybe it's January 1st. Maybe it's the first Saturday of every year. The date doesn't matter. What matters is that it happens. Write it down, put it on your calendar, and treat it like an appointment with your future self. Now take a step back and look at what you've created. It may only be a single page, but that page represents something powerful: clarity, direction, confidence. Most people spend their lives thinking about investing. Very few people create a written plan, and even fewer follow one. Today, you've taken a major step toward becoming one of those people. Now, let me tell you something important. This plan isn't permanent. Life changes, careers change, families change, goals change, and your plan will evolve as your life evolves. That's normal. The purpose of a plan isn't perfection. The purpose of a plan is direction. A written plan will always outperform a vague intention, especially during difficult markets, especially when emotions are running high, and especially when everyone around you is reacting to fear or excitement. Because when that day comes, and it will, you won't need to guess. You'll already know what to do. You'll have a plan. Before we finish, I want you to remember something. You don't need to be the smartest investor. You don't need to predict the future. You don't need to beat the market. You simply need a sound strategy and the discipline to follow it. And that's exactly what you're building. Complete your portfolio plan now while everything is fresh. Then join me in our final lesson where we'll wrap up the course and discuss what happens next on your investing journey. I'll see you there.